back to Hobby Potter Weekly, week 4. This week was a busy week for me in planning. It was a lot of planning, but I also did a lot of throwing, and I can't wait to show you that. 30 cups, and I'm making them all different, but the same. I'm going to glaze them the same, and they're going to have the same little emblem on them, but I'm making every cup different, a different shape, a different size, a different everything, and they're going to be the favors for the bridal shower, which is a brunch that I'm having for my daughter on September 10th. So I needed to get started on those now, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, and thinking ahead to the mod shop, I realized I have these little pendants. Somebody said make pendants, and I'm like, wait a second, I already have these things here. So why don't I do something with them? And what I'm going to do is stamp them with some underglaze and then glaze them a color over the top. I'm going to make them very simple. Yeah, and I think that will be something cute that I can take with me, but also have large volumes of. It is not something I usually do, to be honest. I'm not usually using pre-bisque anything, so it'll be interesting to see how they turn out and if I can get creative with something generic. Okay, so here are some of the things I came up with. Some of them I really like and I think are cute. Most of the ones that have the little leaves on them like that, I kind of like those. But again, this is not something I usually do. This one I messed around with and I actually like that a lot. I still have some left over so I can do it, but I black washed it and then put a stamp on it, and I think I like that look. But I'm planning to glaze over the top of them with a thin layer of gloss color. So they're not, I don't know, I really love black and white, you know me. But I'll see. If not, I'll put clear. I don't know. But anyway, I just need to bisque the underglaze on here so I have time to think about it. Okay. That earthenware doesn't get very white when I put clear over it, which is interesting. I think I knew that, but it's been so long since I did it. Anyway, let me pull some of this stuff out. Okay, so here is the plan for the cake, and I've already had to make some alterations. I figured out my numbers. I need about 180 favors, and the desserts are going to go inside the favors, so the guests are actually going to take the ceramic dish that I make home with them. But what I'm going to do is build a cake out of the ceramic desserts that they're having, and then Bethany and Stephen are going to have their own individual cake that they're going to cut themselves. They don't really care for cake, but they just wanted the tradition of it all. So here we go. This is how it ends up. I have, I could get 72 within this sphere right here. And if I need an extra 30, which I think I will, I can go one more round around the outside, and I can get another 30 plus, like 30, 35 more around the outside. Then I was going to have the second layer that had 60, and this is the dilemma, I'll tell you. It's going to go up a little ways, and then this would be the second layer. Well, here's the dilemma. I have, this holds 60, but I can't find a cardboard cake round that is that large. This is actually over 2 feet. This is like 26 inches. And the largest one that I can find that is available is 16 inches. And I think somebody also said if I go a little bit more, if I go too wide out, it's not going to be sturdy enough to hold all of the ceramics that I'm putting on top of it, which makes sense. So I'm going to go a little bit smaller and a little bit more hardy stands and closer together stands underneath. And so I can only get 16 inches. So it's about shrinking in half. So I could probably get 30, and another layer 30, 30, that's 60. That's 160. And I could probably squeeze more on the bottom. I guess that's what I'm thinking. Anyway, this does fit on the size table, the round table that we're getting. So that is the plan for now. Everything these circles are actually going to shrink. I just measured if they all fit. So I'm actually glad for that.
Okay, my car is inside my garage and it is not working. My husband is taking it apart, putting it all back together again. But my daughter, sweet Becca, hi girlie. She's taking me to go get some clay because my kiln opening, which I'll show you in a minute, you haven't seen it yet, but my kiln opening wasn't what I expected, and I realized my clay was not white enough. So we're gonna go get some new kind of clay. Yay!
I am trying out a new clay on these cups because I talked to Sandra Veneman from the Chartreuse Muse, and she says that they use this in their classroom because when you fire it to cone 5 and put clear glaze over it, it turns out white, so you don't have to really glaze white. You can just kind of throw it and glaze it clear and it'll be white. And mine, the clay that I had before, it turns out a yellow when you put clear. You probably can't see it. Can you see that? It turns out a yellow when you put clear on it. And before, I mean, you saw it already when I was making it. It was white and black, and now it's beige and black. So that's not the idea I want for my cups this week. So here we go. I can't wait to get started. Look how soft that is. That is going to feel great on my little fingers. I can't wait to try out a new throwing clay. It's rare I get a chance to do that, so kind of excited. Well, that's it for this week's Hobby Potter Weekly. Thank you all for joining me. I'm going to share some photos of what happened throughout the week. I did a couple things that I didn't share in video, so yeah, I made a couple sculpture-like pieces and did some hand building. I just wanted some alone time, so I didn't turn the camera on. But hope you guys enjoyed this week. I'll share some more next week and what's going on in the studio. I have some, I'm not going to say what I have planned. I'm going to finish up those cups and probably finish them from beginning to end. So I may actually even have another kiln opening next week. So thanks for joining me. Photo gallery next, and a little bit of a chit chat on some of the things that happened throughout the week. So thanks for joining me. See you next time. Okay, time for chit chat about the kiln opening. I'm so glad it was a test, and it wasn't something that I felt was urgently important inside that kiln. There was nothing urgent that I needed by a certain date and a certain time, because everything in that kiln was not to my liking. Nothing turned out the way I wanted it to, let's just say that. I liked the kiln load before I turned the kiln on better than I did when it came out. And what I learned, though, I mean, it doesn't matter if I like it or not like it, what did I learn from it, is actually the most important thing. I heard a story today, and just this morning actually. I was listening to Og Mandino, a speech. He's an author, and he did a speech somewhere, and one of the stories he told was, it just so happened that this was the story. He says, Hank Aaron was about ready to break Babe Ruth's home run record. And at that time, he was the CEO of Success Magazine. And he called up Hank Aaron's office and he said, hey, you know what? He says, how many times did he strike out? And the guy says, no, he's got this many home runs. He's only got 5 more to go. And he goes, yeah, I'm aware of that. I just want to know, how many times did he strike out? So it took him 5 minutes to come back to the phone back in that day and age. I don't think they had computers. But anyway, he comes back and he says he struck out 1,274 times. And he had 600 and something, I don't remember the exact number, 600 and something home runs at that time. And he said, so basically, for every 2 failures you have, you're going to have 1 success. And I'm already okay when I fail, or when a test fails, or something doesn't work out, because I'll keep going. I don't really care. Let's just do that again. Let's just do that again. And take another opportunity. So that's what I'm going to do with these incense burners, because that's to me, in my way of thinking, they're a fail. I don't like them. It's not what I was hoping for. It's not what I was expecting. Lots of things were different. But here's what I changed. And you saw already the beginnings of it. I'm going to change my clay to the Versa clay, because it turns out white. And I won't have to glaze anything white. And that's usually my struggle. I want something stark white. My colors are black and white. I love black and white and 1 bit of color. I still have quite a bit of the other clay left, and I'll use it for sculpture things where I'm not so worried about the white showing up. But when I want to see white, I'm going to use that new clay. It feels good. It was really soft, and it's smooth, and it's just, I love it. So I did make a change, and I am going to make them again, and we'll see how that goes. Long story longer. About the favors. I'm the mother of the bride. And I was making some favors. I struggled whether I wanted to share that online, because it's going to be the gift. I'll show you how they turn out in the kiln, but I'll show you a final picture after the week after September 10th, the Saturday after. And then you'll get to see what they actually looked up as favors. So that's coming, and I was real excited to make them all look different. I want them to be different shapes and forms, but all white, and then I'm going to put a stamp on it. I haven't done it exactly yet. They're waiting, and I'm going to do a wash on the stamp, but they're all going to be white. So it'll look really, hopefully it looks really cool. And the final thing is that ceramic cake. I would love suggestions of where I can get something that is a cardboard round, a cardboard round that is white that could handle that. Now I was looking at wood, maybe having a piece of wood, but I really honestly don't want to have to do too much handwork to it. I prefer it was already done and I just set it on top. I was thinking of plexiglass, and the other thing is budget. I don't want to spend a whole lot of money. I'm already spending quite a bit of money, so I don't want to spend a whole lot for these rounds. So I'm juggling how to find what I need for that. The diameter, I'd love it if I could keep the diameter the same, because here's what it's going to look like. I'm going to make these little dishes, and they're going to be, I haven't decided if I'm going to use that blue or not. I need to ask Bethany. But the circles around, there's 72 all the way around, right? And I'm going to do another 30, so that's 100 on the bottom. And there are 3 tiers. The bottom tier is the tray with the dessert inside, so it'll look all uniform. And then I have glass vases that I'm going to use to prop up whatever flat circle I put on top. So I'm going to set that on top, and then I'm going to put the other ones on top, and then we're going to put the desserts in. And then there's one more tier on the very top, and that will be their individual cake that they'll do during the cake cutting. So that's the goal, and I just, in my head, I see it as charming. But that kiln, even though that has nothing to do with the cakes, I saw that kiln opening and went, oh, I can't, oh, 180, I can't make a mistake, you know. So obviously I have to make more than that in case something goes wrong, but hopefully the guests will think it's unique for sure, and I hope the guests like it, because that's the favors that she's going to be giving away to people. She's going to give them their dessert and then the favors, and then the bowl, the little bowls that they set in. So anyway, hope it all works out, and that's just what's on my mind lately. I've been doing a lot of wedding stuff, so mixing that with my studio work, and it's been a lot of fun though. I'm very excited, happy with things that are going. How is everything going with you? I would love to know what you're up to in your studios. Everybody has their life, and everybody has things that they can be doing in their own studio that are probably exciting times 10. So hope you guys are enjoying your clay journey. Thank you for joining me on mine, and I will see you next week. Thanks.